Okay, so in this segment we're going to be talking about the three types of cleavers that are used in Chinese cooking. The first one we have here is a very, very heavyweight cleaver, and this is wonderful for cutting into bones, breaking down bones for your stock. The second one here is a lighter weight cleaver, and this is for your all-purpose slicing and cutting into meat. The third one here is a lighter version, and it's great on the wrist, and again this is only for cutting and slicing into meat and vegetables. Caring for your cleavers, whether it's your traditional hard-pressed metal and or stainless steel, you want to take very, very good care of your cleavers. You want to wash them, dry them thoroughly. You want to, apply a very, very light film of oil on it to prevent any type of a rusting. A word of caution on the cleavers. If you don't have the experience in working with the cleavers, it is okay for you to use your chef's knives in place of the cleavers for now. In this segment, we're going to talk about how to hold your cleaver, and we will also go through a few knife cuts with the same cleaver. So first off, your cleaver, very, very much like your chef's knife. You want to get your thumb and your forefingers up here, hold almost at the end of the blade. You want to make sure you're comfortable. You're gripping back here, nice and comfortable. Okay, front view and the back view. Okay, very, very comfortable. So the first cut that we'll be showing you is this. We will be doing a vertical cut. Okay, a vertical cut is really just taking the knife perpendicular to the product, going straight up and down, like so. And these are your slices. Okay. Vertical cut. The next cut is your slope cut. And slope cut is really just your diagonal cut. Again, place the product like so, diagonal with the knife. You want to take it straight up and down. Okay, slice it right through. Okay. And you'll find out that, like with French cooking, each one of these cuts are appropriate for a cooking technique. For example, the slices here, they're wonderful for sauteing and doing it in the wok. Okay? It will stand up to the pressure of the heat and it will retain its structure. Okay? Slices, likewise, they also great for sauteing and they make great presentation. The next cut is your horizontal cut. Okay? All that is, very much like our French knives and the techniques that we use there, straight up and down here, making your cut. Okay? Horizontal to the product. Okay? That gives you these little slices. Okay? Slices, horizontal cuts. From your horizontal cut, you can go ahead and move on and make your juliennes. Okay? So from here, like so. Okay. You have some sample julienne cuts from your horizontal cuts. Okay. Very, very simple. Okay. Straightforward. The next cut that I'll be demonstrating is your roll cuts. And the roll cut is very, very similar to that of your oblique cuts. Okay? And all you do is you set the product diagonal with your blade. You make a cut. You roll it quarter way. Make another cut. And you keep turning it a quarter turn. Okay? These cuts are wonderful for braising. Okay? They'll stand up to the pressure of the braising liquid. And they will also retain their shape. The other cut I'd like to show you is a smaller version of a slope cut. It takes the half of the carrot, for example, diagonal, set it up like so, slice through. You have basically a smaller version of your diagonal cut. Okay? Next, we will talk about mincing with your cleaver. The same cleaver. I'm going to show you two different ways for you to mince a product like garlic. Take your peeled garlic, take off the top. From here you have two choices. You can take this, smash it down, and then cut through, make several passes, and you'll have your minced garlic. Or the other technique, which we'll show you shortly, takes a one pass through. So here we go. This is the first technique. First one, you take your whole garlic like so. You take your blade. Make sure you hit the back of the blade here or towards the middle, or you can move the blade back up like so you don't accidentally hit yourself up here. You want to take here, smash that down. Go ahead and pass it through several times. Okay. Collect as you go. Mince it down. You can do a fine mince, you can do a coarse mince, it's up to you, depending on the recipe requirement. Another wonderful thing with this cleaver is that you can use it to pick up products. Very, very simple. Okay? It maximizes efficiency in the kitchen. The other technique for mincing garlic is to make a one pass through with your knife. You want to take a slapping, spreading motion, like so. Okay? With your clove here, you want to take it and, like so, you have smashed up garlic, one motion. Now, go back, pass through it, okay, and you have minced garlic. The next cut I would like to show you is what is called a domino cut, okay, or domino slices. With this piece of flank steak, we could do just that. This is a great cut to use when you want to tenderize a product and also have uniformity. For example, with this flank cut, which is very, very tough by nature, you have an opportunity here to tenderize it in your cutting technique. Okay? So starting here, you want to take it at an angle, slice through, make a bunch of slices, laying them out, and they resemble that of domino tablets. Okay? So here, take it like so. Take the one piece out. You have your slope here. Take your slope. Okay. Lay that out. Okay. Like so. Okay. You can see these guys are lining up like here. Make sure that you're cutting at an angle. Okay, cutting against the grain at an angle. Okay. You have all your slices here. Now again, depending on the recipe requirement, you can leave them as is and cook them through, and or you can go ahead and take them back up and make nice shreds of them. Okay? And that's the next cut that I'd like to show you. So with the shreds, you have a uniform thickness already. All you want to do, take them like so, and basically make julienne cuts out of them. Okay? Gives you these great shreds that have been basically physically tenderized. Okay? See these shreds here. From here, you notice we've been using the same cleaver here for various cuts. Okay? Very, very versatile tool in the kitchen to have. You could also mince your meats using your cleaver, or you can use two cleavers to mince your meat. From here, for example, let's say we have these products that I like to mince down. You can use a double blading action to make sure that you are able to pulverize this down, but not take it to a paste form. Okay? I'll use another cleaver. From here, we can mince the meat. Okay? So you want to start slow. You want to take the big pieces down first, And when they're nice and uniform, you can increase your speed. Okay? Work clean. Okay? Now if you see, in total I have a very, very uniform, basically ball of meat now. From here I can pick up my speed a little bit more and go through the process. So again, starting at the center of the blades. There you are, you have minced meat. The next cut is dicing, and we'll do a regular dice, and we'll do a smaller dice cut. Okay? We're going to do that with carrots. Here, a little indentation so that the carrot will sit. Okay, like so, and cut it through. Okay, so I've made all my large cuts, like a large bâtonnet cut. You're going to go ahead and take it now, group them together, come down. Okay. Cut through here, you have basically your cube cuts, sense of uniformity. Okay. With the onion now, we're going to go ahead and cut it down to small cubes. Take this down. Take that out. Always try to clean your cleaver in between cuts. You want to make sure that it's nice and clean. Over here, same way as with your French, your chef's knife. Take it in. You can see the versatility of this cleaver. The nice thing with this cleaver is it allows you to really control the product. You've got a good workspace here. With the small dice, for example, you can take it and take it all the way down and not lose the edges or the sides. Once you get done cutting them, you can use the cleaver and pick them up really nice and efficiently. Okay. You could take it to this size cut, or you could even pass it through. Once, twice, you have a smaller dice cut. As I mentioned earlier, from here, you take it up off of your board on your cleaver, transfer it to, say, your plate. Okay, it's done. You will find with wok cooking, onions are usually cut into like larger strips or wedges. Again, because of the constant tossing and the heat, you want to retain certain structure and certain mouthfeel. Over here with this, you can just take off the ends, and we're going to do a wedge cut. Okay, from here, roll this thing over. You have that. These are examples of your large wedge cuts for your onions. Okay. Get all these guys squared away. Next, with the same cleaver, we will do a scoring. And this is a nice piece of squid here. Take this out. Soft. So say we take a piece about this size. You want to score the squid for multiple purposes. One, you want to tenderize it. Basically, this is physical tenderization. The second thing is that once you've blanched or sauteed, the squid will curl up and present a really nice scored diamond cut look, if you will. So you have here, take your piece of squid. You want to go basically diagonal, score it. Don't cut all the way through. Make very, very uniform cuts. Okay? You don't want the spaces to be too wide or too thin. You want them all to be but the same width apart. Okay? So, in essence, this is what you're doing. You want to create these indentations here. Okay? Remember, I'm not cutting it all the way through. I'm just scoring them. Okay? So from here, you're turning back this way. Okay? And then you score again, not cutting through. Has to be very, very uniform. Work on knife cuts. Because once the product comes out, it will present very, very attractively. If you look here now, uniform cuts, scoring. Okay? And that concludes the knife cuts.